Hey guys, Civics Boy here, and welcome back to another video on my personal build that we're doing. If you remember from the previous video, I did a box opening of some parts that came straight from Extreme Grandpa, and among those parts were a EVGA 780 N4 780i motherboard that had a Intel Q6600 which was lapped. We also had a Corsair H50 as for the CPU cooler, and it also came with some Mushkin memory. And the parts that you see in front of you are more parts that we're going to be using for this build. First thing I would like to show you what we're going to be using is, I know the motherboard already had some memory, which was good. It was actually really good memory, but I had these Corsair Dominators lying around. These are Corsair Dominators DDR2 1066 megahertz at 55515 at 2.1 volts. So we're going to be replacing the Mushkin RAM with these Dominators. We have 4 of these sticks. There are 4 sticks at 1 gigabyte each, which makes it 4 gigabytes total. So we're going to be replacing the RAM with these. Second thing we're going to use to cool down the memory, because we might, I don't want to promise anything, but we might overclock them. So if we do overclock them, we're going to need some cooling. And I had this also laying around. This is the Corsair Dominator version 2 memory cooler, which actually I kind of like it. And the second thing that we're going to be using, as far as case fans go, we're going to be using these XigmaTech XLF series 120 millimeter fans. They're black with white LEDs on them, and we have 3 of them in total. We're going to be using 2 for the front intakes on our case, and we're going to be using the 3rd one on the side panel of the case as well. And I'll show you guys that. I'll show you the case here in a little bit. So XigmaTech XLF series cooling system 120 millimeter fan. And to power everything, we are going to be using a Corsair 1000 watt HX power supply. This is a modular power supply, or semi-modular should I say. Not all the cables are modular, but this is a modular power supply, 80 plus certified. And to run those XigmaTech fans and all the other fans, we're going to be using a NZXT Sentry LX fan controller. If you remember, in my box of spare parts that I had this laying around, so why not use it for this build. Alright guys, so this is the computer case we're going to be using. If you remember, a few videos back I did a review on a computer case, which is the NZXT Tempest Evo mid-tower computer case with the Arctic camouflage paint scheme. So I had this laying around, so I decided to go ahead and use it and throw all of our components in here. So this is the case we're going to be using. So we pretty much have everything that we need now. We have the motherboard, of course, the processor, we have the memory, we have the graphics card or graphics cards, we have the computer case, we have the power supply, we have the hard drive. Only thing is missing is the operating system. So I'll try to film as much as I can of this build, as far as like doing the cable management and whatnot, but if I don't get around to it, I promise I'll show you the end results of everything and how everything looks. And so we got those videos coming up. We also have the videos for the benchmarking and all that stuff, and I do want to top it off, all the benchmarking and stuff. I do want to top it off with a comparison between this computer system that we're going to be building and my own personal system that I have now, which runs 3 GTX 470s in SLI or Tri-SLI and Intel Core i5 750 overclocked to 3.8. So we'll go ahead and compare the two systems and see where they stand when you compare the two. So, alright guys, stay tuned for those videos. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Civics Boy is out.